chills just watching.
It does.
Here's a bomb. You know, I love Pete Rose, the way he put it in perspective. He says, no, catching Cobb is easy. All you got to do is get 200 hits for 20 years and then 180 more.
You know, and it's not as though that's all he did was just get up there and hit and stuff. But I mean, the way he played the game, the way he attacked things, the way he ran the bases, he slid, he hustled, he did everything right the way the game's supposed to be played.
Where would he have played on a football team?
He probably would have been. He would have been a defensive back, a combination of Hopkins and Taylor.
This is the 11th Philadelphia kick, and it's a great one by Haran. Conkey. Flag is down. Hubie Oliver makes the tackle. Most punts in a game for the Eagles, Adrian Burke in 1952, 12. Eagles might tie that today.
This one will be against the Giants, one of those illegal blocks from behind that we get on the kicking thing, although we haven't had much of that today, but that's always a good one.
Illegal block in the back, number 54. First down.
That's always the leader in the league. I mean, before it's over, that illegal block on the kick will lead all penalties.
Coming up at the conclusion of our game, we'll go back to New York for the NFL today. And then next week, we've got the doubleheader, Dallas versus Detroit, or the Rams versus Philadelphia. It begins at 12:30 Eastern time, followed by the Giants and the Green Bay Packers.
Now, there's a real football field. I think that Green Bay Packer field is the best field in the National Football League.
Really? Yeah, George Adams. I'll tell you something interesting. Remember Jeff Rutledge has come in as quarterback now for the Giants, and Phil Simms will get a chance. Boy, he had a great preseason. Terrific preseason.
I'll tell you, he has a smile on his face. He's a loosey guy. You know, they say that in the Canton game, he was there on the sideline. Someone had put rocks in his helmet, and the coach told him to go in, and there was an injury, and he had to dump all the rocks out of his helmet, put his helmet on, and on the first play, he threw a touchdown pass, came running off field. I said, that's easy.
Second down and 8 with 3:03 to go in the ball game, and the Giants got the way off top, 21-zip. George Adams with Maurice Carthen and friends heading around the right side, short of the first down. Phil Simms for the day. 8 of 21, 133. Not the kind of day he'll remember, but he was spending most of the afternoon handing off.
Well, and he had they had some penalties and some stuff called back, and some drops on him and stuff. I think that his day wasn't bad. I think the thing that they'll be concerned with more about their offense is that they got that early lead, and then they just kind of settled down into mediocrity instead of keeping it going.
Third down and 3. Satisfied New York Giant bench.
Well, that's a satisfied defense. Those are the guys that are satisfied. I mean, there's Andy Hedden there and all the guys. They put pressure on that guy. I mean, that quarterback, long day, brutal.
I'll tell you something interesting. You were talking about the field in Green Bay. You remember the Ice Bowl game, 67, the Cowboys losing to Green Bay 21-17. That is the last time Dallas has ever played in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's been 18 years. The Giants are going there next week, and they'll go there 1-0. Back at Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the final 2 minutes. Vern Lundquist along with John Madden. Eric Carson just relaxing and exchanging waves with the fans. Had the kind of day the defensive unit has had. You can do that.
Well, Harry was looking the wrong way. He's supposed to be looking out in the field. Harry got spun around there. He's looking up in the stands.
Jeff Rutledge, the quarterback, on 3rd and 3. New nose guard for Philadelphia, 300-pound Joe Drake. And he'll get to see action for one more play because Maurice Carthen has picked up a first down. Tom Struthers makes the tackle. Joe Drake is a rookie from Arizona. At one point, weighed 330, checked in at 300. He's now playing at 299.
Well, I'll bet you that he's still over 300 right now. As he stands in that huddle now, that body is over a 300-pound body. But that guy up in Chicago they call the refrigerator hasn't beat by 30 or 40, so he doesn't have to take it.
Well, give him runner-up honors. He ought to be called Icebox. First and 10. Adams, number 1 draft choice, for a couple of yards. Ken Clark will get a rest. Joe Drake is in there now. Time winding down. We've got less than a minute to play. Philadelphia at home against the Rams next week. They've got 6 of their first 7 games against NFC Eastern Division opponents. They started out the season last year 1-4, then went 5-1 to wind it up, and Marion Campbell was encouraged by that. But he won't be by what's happened today. And the Giants are going to get a nice hand now as they break the huddle. As they did a year ago, they will be 1-0, and they are trying to become the first New York team since 62 and 63 to have back-to-back winning seasons. Carson. Wes Hopkins with the tackle.
This is what happens the first game, the opener, when the coach wins it. That's Harry Carson. He says, Coach, you've been hot all day. Let's get cooled off. It's over now.
That's the second time he's gotten wet today. The rain shower did him in the first quarter. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Bill Parcells looking for Marion Campbell. The Giants' defensive unit looked awesome. But one's not sure how good an offensive team they were matched up against. We're back at Giant Stadium, where a sellout crowd has been enthused by the Giants' 21-0 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously, John, the most impressive aspect of this game was the Giant defense.
That's what I think. I think, you know, that they, of course, all preseason, they're talking about Mark Haynes not being here, and I think that their defense, and I think that Bill Parcells was kind of concerned with that. You know, how can we play out there with an Elvis Patterson? How will a Ted Watts fit in? And I think if you get the kind of rush that they had today from both the defensive line and the linebackers, that secondary isn't as important. And the job that they did today, I mean, Ron Jaworski and the pass offense of the Eagles just didn't have a chance.
Take a look elsewhere around the National Football League. Our final 21-0. The 49ers now have gone on top of Minnesota 21-14. Detroit still leading Atlanta, but now only by 1, 28-27. And Chicago trailed Tampa Bay for much of the first half. They have come back. The Bears now lead 38-28. Our final 21-0 here. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer Charles H. Milton III. Today's game in New York produced by Robert D. Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Our associate producer, Joan Vetrano. Field technical manager, Sandy Bell. The broadcast associate, Michael Frank. And a special welcome to Steve Williams, who has just joined us. Bob Brown, our TD, and audio from Bob Seiderman and Jim Rose. It was an impressive New York Giant victory, highlighted by 8 quarterback sacks. For John Madden, this is Vern Lundquist saying so long from Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with the final score, the Giants 21, Philadelphia nothing. Coming up next, the U.S. Open men's singles final. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.